Welcome to Facebook Live. My name is Tanvi Patel and I'm a PhD student in the Graduate College.
My name is Kate Eugenis. I'm also a PhD student in the Graduate College.
So a little bit about us. I am originally from Las Vegas and I chose UNLV because I've always been exposed to UNLV. Growing up here, we've always gone to Rebel games and been on campus for tours and activities. So I just wanted to tell you that I can't talk today. Why did you go to UNLV?
I'm actually originally from Phoenix, and so I chose to come here. The campus is beautiful, the city is beautiful, it doesn't snow, so those of you in snowy places, it doesn't snow here, I promise. And so that's part of why I chose to come here. I went to college in a snowy place and I was so over it.
So what graduate college are you part of?
I am part of the Department of Political Science.
And what kind of research do you do?
Mostly judicial research right now, looking at judicial elections. What about you?
I am part of the College of Public Health, and I do research on bioaerosols, so things that we have in the air here in Las Vegas. And the best part of being part of that program and being part of the Graduate College altogether is the fact that we get to hear about different programs like yours and hear about all the research that our graduate students are doing here around campus that can better help the community and better help individual people as well.
That's part of what I like about being here too. And at least in my department, the class sizes are small, and I get to know all of my faculty members. And so when it was time for me to choose what it is I wanted to do, I knew everybody, I could ask everybody questions, everyone was super available. And so I hope it's the same in your program.
It is. I know between undergrad and grad school, it's a huge difference of experience. With grad school, I feel like you really interact one-on-one with the faculty and really get to know them and get to know the students. It's more of a cohort kind of feel as to having hundreds of students in your class.
So next we'd like to introduce the recruitment team and the admissions team, and they'll talk to you about how to actually come join us here.
Feel our experience.
Hi Facebook Live. This is the Grad College admissions and recruitment team. My name is Elizabeth Jost. I'm the senior admissions analyst at the Graduate College. So what I do is a lot of the application process, from when you're asking questions to when you're ready to submit your application to when you're ready to get a decision. So the rest of the team here is going to introduce themselves and hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions.
Hi, I am Lori Filippo. I am the International Recruitment and Admissions Specialist. So any international students that may have any questions about how to apply, what transcripts or documents you may need, feel free to ask any questions.
I'm Lauren Orton. I am an admissions analyst here at the Grad College. If you apply to grad school, chances are I will evaluate your application. So if you have any questions about our general requirements or basic admission questions, I can help you out. I'm happy to.
And I'm Stephen Coleman. I'm the Graduate Recruitment and CRM Specialist for the UNLV Graduate College. I wear quite a few different hats within the position. First off, I work with different departments, so I work with them on how they want to grow their enrollment. So we do SWOT analysis, we look at different plans as far as growing 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and so forth. So how does that work well with you? That works so much better because as a student, I get to learn about all the different type of programs, what the requirements are, and I can basically be like a liaison between the department and yourself. So I can talk with you and kind of give you tips on what may be like the best practices for the program that you're applying for, what type of things that you should look for, how you may want to structure your personal statement. And then for those students who are kind of deciding about what to do or what type of program that you'd like to go into, I'm able to do that with you as well too. Maybe you graduated with a degree in psychology, but you don't want to be a psychologist, but you want to do something along the lines of counseling. So then I can work with you, talk with you, and steer you in different type of directions as well too. So so I do all of that. I'm available. I have about 3 other graduate assistants that can also talk with you as well too. So very accessible. All you would have to do is just go to our webpage with the graduate column and say request more information, and you'll get an email from me as well as inviting you in to come speak with me.
Okay, it looks like we have our first question. The question is, what should we think about before applying to grad college? This might be a good question for Sebring to answer, but as far as the admissions team is concerned, I would say that if you do know what program you're going to apply to, be really aware of the application deadlines, because if you're going to be applying to, say, psychology in fall 2018, they have a super early deadline, so we're thinking you need to make sure you're on top of that so you don't miss that November 1st deadline. Is almost a whole year before the school year starts.
Yeah, and that's one of the key things, just as Liz stated, that you would definitely want to make sure that you pay attention to the deadlines. I can't tell you the number of students that come in March or April that are graduating seniors that want to start graduate school, thinking that how they would do if they were in high school and just get admitted to the college. Graduate school is a little different. You just don't just get admitted to the college without actually getting admitted into the program at the same time. So that's one of the things. The other thing too is that before you start thinking about graduate school or applying, start thinking about like what it is, like what your goals are. You know, one of the things I used to tell people or ask them is, 5 years from now, you get a phone call. Who's on the phone? Who's on the other end? What are they offering you? What are you going to be doing with your life afterwards? And so those are different type of things you can think about. Or one of the questions that we usually ask children when they're younger is, what do I want to be when I grow up? You know, and a lot of times too, I mean, we as adults, we get asked that too. You know, maybe Tommy wants to be a fireman because there's a fireman who had saved a cat out of the tree, or maybe he saw like the fire and lights going off and so forth, or maybe he spoke at his school and so forth. So those are the type of things a lot of times that we choose to go into things based off of what we see. But a better question I would ask you is that think about like where you could be like the most impactful. Think about like what's around you or what you're passionate about, what you enjoy doing, and then from there kind of decide what is like what can I do, or how can I make a change here? How can I do impact? Most of what graduate school is all about is that you're going to be basically contributing to like knowledge that exists, and you're going to be creating like new knowledge. So with that being said, those are things that you want to start thinking about as you start thinking about grad school. And from there, what we'll do is that we'll talk with you and give you different options. You know, like you don't have to know exactly what you want to do, and sometimes it's better if you come in and you say, I'm not sure what program I want to go into, but here's what I know I want to do. We may give you 2 or 3 different type of options as to what are some programs that you may want to look at and connect you with some of our graduate coordinators.
So we have another question. What's the most challenging part of grad school? We're more from an admissions standpoint, so we're helping you deal with those difficult sort of checklist items, like getting your transcripts in, getting your test scores in, what should I write my personal statement about, my resume and things like that. But once you're here, there's all sorts of things that can be challenging about grad school. Time management, being able to get to class on time, things like that. Sebring might know a little more. He's doing his PhD right now.
Yeah, I mean, Lori knows too, because Lori was,
yeah,
she just got her master's degree a couple years ago also. So did you want to go first and then I'll go next?
You know, I think once you, as Liz mentioned, once you get the application in, really making sure you have all those materials all together. It's really just finding that major that's right for you and just going for it. But once you're here, as Liz mentioned, I'm sure Sebring can tell you too, there's a lot of resources that will help you out here. I know every day for my master's degree, I was at the library pretty much every single day. So there's a lot of great people here, a lot of great resources that will help you out through your whole grad school experience.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off of that too, like one of the biggest things that you just have to understand, there's something that's called balance, and understanding like how to balance out whatever your life is in addition to grad school. Grad school it is different than undergrad in the fact that you may take less classes at the same time, but there's going to be more expected from you like out of each class. You know, like for those individuals that may be interested in computer science, you may only take 2 classes a semester as a full-time student. However, when you look at like the rigor and the amount of work that's going to be dedicated for each class, you know, it's definitely a lot different than taking, you know, maybe 9 classes as an undergrad. So those are some of the things that may be one thing that's different. In addition to is that if you have like those outside issues, or maybe you work full time. So those are things that you may want to ask yourself. Maybe you can't go to school full time, but you're working. I know myself, I work full time, but I also, I'm also basically dissertating at this point. So I'm writing all the time. So I'm writing this thing called a dissertation. And with that, it's about a balance, because you may work for 40 hours, and you may have a long week where you've worked, and you may have life outside, you may have a family, and then at the same time you still have to balance school. So it's all about like a balance, and those are some of like the challenging things that once you actually start, but it's doable. And so then we don't want to discourage you with that. We do have resources as well too that we provide, as Lori kind of alluded to. We have all different types of workshops as far as how can I like get my thesis together, or how can I like work on formatting my dissertation. We have great types of events as far like the our Grad Rebel Slam, Grad Rebel Slam that we do every year in November too, where we have phenomenal graduate students, master's and PhD students who come in and get 3 minutes to talk about their study. They're giving you, basically they're talking about their thesis and what they do. And the good part about it is they break it down into terms that everybody can understand. And it's a fun event, but it also helps you out because it makes you really own and know what your topic is, and it makes you be able to break it down. So we have lots of events that go on, like that. We have different things as far as how do you how you do like research, like if you've never used SPSS before, which is the software for like doing like quantitative statistics, we give you like workshops on that. So we probably have more workshops than we have quite a bit of workshops that go on like throughout the semester. You can always check with us on the Grad Rebel Success Center, and they advertise like all the workshops that we have every day and so forth.
Okay, so we're getting another question. How long does the application process take? I think this might be a good question for Lauren, since she does a lot of application processing.
Yeah, so if the question's referring to actually submitting and completing the application, that's going to differentiate depending on what program you're applying to. Some programs are going to ask you for letters of recommendation, a statement of intent, GRE scores, but it could be just transcripts if you don't have any of those supplemental requirements. So it could take, I wouldn't say more than an hour or two, depending on if you have your documents ready. And then the application process, once submitted, we're going to evaluate it here at the Grad College first, and we're going to calculate your cumulative GPA. We're going to make sure you have any other international documents that are required, like foreign credential evaluations and proof of English proficiency. If we have all those documents, then we usually evaluate your application within 1 to 2 days of submission, and then we send it to the department, and that goes under review. That also depends between departments. It can be super quick turnaround within a week or two. It can also take a few months, especially if they have an early deadline. So dependent on the department, I guess, but
yeah, and when you apply in the Grad Rebel Gateway, which is our application system that you can find on our website, on your homepage, depending on the program that you apply to, you'll have the information for the graduate coordinator of your program. So if you have any questions about the departmental timeline, when might I hear a decision, that usually rests on the department's committee review timelines and things like that, and everybody's different because we have almost 150 graduate degree programs here at UNLV. So always contact the admissions team if you have questions, but those department contacts are also available to you for those specific departments that you're applying for.
Yeah, and don't get frustrated. Just as everyone say, everyone has like specific times on how long it takes them to evaluate an application. Some departments start, even though the deadline may be March 1st. If you submit early, they may start evaluating early. Some departments do the complete opposite, where they wait until the deadline and then they start afterwards. But don't get frustrated just because you hadn't heard anything back. Just as Liz and Lauren both alluded to, just contact our office, and we'll let you know who the graduate coordinator is, who you can contact as well. And be thinking about other stuff that you can do, like during the time period, like why are you waiting? Like, especially if maybe you are utilizing that time period to tie up any other loose ends, get ready to transition to grad school, maybe come on campus and get a campus tour. We do that all the time as well too, and that can be found on our website too. So so don't get discouraged if it takes a little while before you hear anything. I promise you, we haven't lost your application or it's not lost in the whirlwind somewhere. It may just be that the department is taking a little time to evaluate everything.
Yeah, so it looks like we're ending nearing the end of our broadcast. What we're going to do is if we get any more questions after our Facebook Live event is over, we will answer those on Facebook. You can also email us at gradadmissions@unlv.edu if you have any more questions. All of us answer that email, so we'll be happy to answer your questions at any time.
And if you want a tour, or you have something specific about like coming in for a visit, or to talk about what program may be best for you, you can email us at gradrecruitment@unlv.edu.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.